Hi, we want to be talking about how to create series. It can be in form of number. When you want to generate a lot of number, considering the length of this particular sheet, you can actually you may want to generate series or a serial number for all of the things you do. And in that, you don't want to be typing it one after the other. So there's a way you generate series here. So the very first thing is let's say we want to write one and two and then write it all across. It's going to take a while, but then you can simply just highlight these two, because it's already in one and two, right? You can highlight it and drag it down and then the number comes up for you. Yeah, this is a simple process, but imagine you have more. You have to keep dragging down for some seconds or even minutes before you're able to get it through. So, but in this case, I want to have one. So I just press, I have the one in the cell already. So what I'll do is I'll come to the fill, and from the fill, I go to series. From this series, I want to generate numbers into the columns, right? So I'm going to put column here. I'm going to select column. Then the linear, yeah, I want it to be a linear growth. So the step is one, like after one, you increase by one also. So I want it to stop at let's say 1,000. If I click OK, yeah, you see it's going to list it as far down as 1,000, right? Everything is straight up to 1,000, but then we don't really need that much value, right? So it's going to continue and do that till like till get to 1,000. So, but let's say let me put a zero here and say we want to generate it, want to generate the same number, but we want to put it in a step of two. Like we want 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So now we're going to put it in columns, and then now we want the step to be two. You can put any step that you want, basically based on what you want. So I put this at 1,000. I'm still going to have the value, but it's not going to be 0, 2, 4. Everything increments by two, right? You add two to everything to get to 1,000. So that is how you get this particular series, right? And so yeah, after then, there's also another thing you can do to get more, right? So practically get more. So let's say I have a 10 here and I want to fill it up. I come to the fill, then select series. Now I want it to be in the columns. This time I want it to be a growth. Growth is much like multiplying, right? So I want it to grow by 10 also. I can have this as so I want the store value to be maybe 1 million. That's a million, right? Is that 10 million or a million? Anyway, so you have it. Okay, so you see it's going to keep growing, right? Exponentially, 10 times 10, this 100 times 10, and that's how it keeps going, right? So that's the growth, that's how it grows. So let's now say, let's come back to the field also, come to the series, and now we want to fill in a date. So let's first insert the date. So the format to use for the date here, you have to note it, is you are going to have the month first, then you have the day. So let's say the day is 25. That's December 25. Or let me say January. That's 1 and 25. That's 25th of January 2024, right? So this is the initial date that we have here. So what I can do is I'll come back to the field also, and I'll select series. Now you see it's automatically selected for us because it figured out that the data type there is date. So but then we want it to fill the columns, right? And how do we want it to grow? We want this to end at if January 25, I want it to end at let's say we want this to end at December 25 also 2024. So we have okay. You see, it fills this hub, it generates the date automatically till that particular date that we selected earlier. That is 12, that's December 25, 2024. So this is how you generate series. Basically, you can use this to generate a calendar, like a full-blown calendar, and you are going to get everything you want in there, right? So if I'm copying this date, let me say I copy this particular date, and then I also paste it here. Let me say I paste, just normal pasting, right? So if I paste it in here and I now come to the fill also. I say series, then instead of having the day, I want to get the weekday, and I still want this to end at uh, December 25, 2024, and then have it as okay. So sorry, I have to select the column, so it's not in row. You can also generate in row, but I want this in column, right? So I want this to be the weekday, and so this would be 12, 25, 2024, right? So I have this as okay. So it's going to generate, the weekdays, right? So that's why you observe that some of these dates are different and all of that. So basically, you can do a lot. So you can actually create a calendar with this, and instead of having to type in the dates all after the other. So maybe you're creating a document that involves having a number, having a calendar in it, the calendar of the particular date, let's say from January to December 2024. So you can easily just generate it and then keep filling up all of your value. Probably you're working around calendar of activities or something. So this is very, very easy for you to work with. And so this is how you generate series of numbers. So you've learned how to create series of numbers, in steps. You also learn how to create in growth. You also learn how to create with the calendar, right? Like with the dates. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.